Yo, what's up, dudes? How you doing? I'm back on my light summer schedule. Things will get back to normal when we get to the fall. In fact, I probably will step up my videos in the fall, but you know, I got to get them kids back in school. And until then, schedule's a little light, but I had to come on here to say, check out the new axe. It's a brand new 1976 Ibanez Les Paul. I forget what they called them. It was like the 2410 or something like that. They had a a number for them. They didn't call them a Les Paul. This is the first year with the non-Gibson headstock. They had the open book headstock with the diamond inlay, and Gibson was like, wah, and they said, all right, geez, we'll change it. And they put the tulip on, and they changed it to the Guild headstock. Oh, Ibanez. That's why I love you. And it's a bolt-on neck. You know, this is a, you know, probably a guitar that was like, you know, $299, maybe $199 in 1976, you know, not a lot of money. I have no idea what they went for in 76, but I can't think they're $300 in 76. It sounds a little high. But I don't know, I was looking through an early Sears catalog at because I was trying to find a guitar that my dad had picked up that I think it was like a Sears, like Harmony or one of those, and they were like $89, $99, and they were junk. I was like, oh, jeez, you know, pretty bad. So maybe these were 200 or 250, something like that. I don't know. Different tuners, not the original tuners. They just put on these copies. My original Ibanez that I bought in 1980 didn't have the original tuners. The guy put Grovers on it, which probably match a custom better than these. You know, this, I think of a standard more when I see the tulip tuners versus the, you know, the sort of the, you know, the Grover style. I forget what they call that. Grover. And these pickups aren't original either. These are vintage, probably mid or late 80s Duncan Distortions. Which is cool because my guitar came with, when we bought it, and remember, I bought a 77, I think mine was. And it came with DiMarzio Super Distortions. And so these are the Duncan Distortions, which, you know, they don't look very similar, but they're probably a similar, similarly voiced pickup, right? The Duncan Distortion, DiMarzio Super Distortion. You know, it was a hotter pickup, you know, that. I checked the website. There's not a lot of information on the guitar. I'll bet the neck is maple. May not be. Who knows? But, you know, the guitar is, you know, pushing 40 years old, and it's still holding up. So I got to think it's maple. The body, they don't really say much about. It doesn't feel as heavy as mahogany would be. I'm not really sure what it is. If you look on the website, it says hardwood. So, the catalog was like hardwood body and tonewood neck. It's like, what does that mean? The pickups have a little bit more mojo than just your standard, you know, old Duncan pickups. This is a Lydia Daniels wound, an LD pickup. But this is a pretty famous winder. But this one's wound by the most famous winder of them all. No, not Seymour Duncan. By Maricela. Is it Maricela or Maricela? I'm not really sure. I tend to butcher names other than like Tim or Bob or Mike. But I think it's Maricela Juarez and MJ. And she's total legend, right? She joined the company in '83, was sort of like known as like their like premier winder, and she had an attention to detail that people loved, and she wound pickups for like, you know, Jimmy Page and all this stuff, and so she really knows her stuff. And so the MJ pickups, you know, people have said you don't really get more money for them, maybe a tiny bit more money, but the difference is that it'll sell right away just because people will want an MJ pickup. So, you know, they're a little bit, I think, more desirable than, you know, one of the other makers. But people swear by LDs too. Lydia Daniels, you know, it's who knows. Certainly I had heard of MJ. I had to look Lydia Daniels up. But Duncan has a site that breaks it all down for you. So, you know, for me, this was just nostalgia. And I had seen this guitar on Craigslist a few months ago. And the guy wanted like $350. And I was like, man, whatever. And then he wound up taking it down. I figured it sold. But then a few weeks later, it showed up on... what was it, eBay, and he wanted $450, and so I emailed him. I said, you know, this is the guitar from Craigslist. You know, I could, because he used the same photos. I said, you know, I'm in the Boston area. I said, I can't give you $450, but I'd be interested around $350. And he said, yeah, I'll post it back up there again, and we'll get in contact. And we did, and I wound up going and checking it out, and I picked it up for $330, which I thought was a great price, slightly above my $300 limit, but you know, still doable for the nostalgia that goes along with it. And this is it. I can't get any more guitars for the rest of the year. I really got to. I mean, we only got what? We're in the 8th month, so yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is it. I'm out for 2012. I mean, 2014. You know, the first step of recovery is to admit you have a problem. Now, I don't have a problem, but I probably should slow down a little bit. The action was actually a little too low for my liking. I actually raised it up a little bit. I think if you've watched all my videos, you'd know that I came close to... I've already told the story about... I think it's in the Gibson... the first Gibson video, when Bobby brought over his classic custom, or custom classic, whatever that's called. I think it's custom classic. I regale the story of my dad taking me out to, excuse me, to buy this guitar, and he wasn't too happy about it. And that was in September of 1980. And then I wound up selling the guitar in like on Thanksgiving Day in like 1990 or 1991. And kind of regretted selling it pretty quickly. You know, I really did. Should have held on to it. I don't know what I was thinking. So, you know, then the seed's planted. Yeah, I should really get back to it. And so, you know, it's like I got the 83 Kramer. And that, you know, again, huge nostalgia factor for me. And then, of course, I got the 1982 Fender The Strat. Again, huge nostalgia factor for me. And then this was it. This was sort of the last one. Now, there is one more, my 73 Strat. But let's face it, a chance of me getting one of those, pretty slim. Especially because I had a very weird model of the 73 Strat. I had the hardtail, which means the strings went through the body and it looked like a telly. And two, it had a rosewood fingerboard, and they were just doing a lot more maple at the time. So to find a rosewood fingerboard hardtail Fender Strat, I'm probably looking at well over $3,000. Of course, if it's on eBay, they'll want $8,000, but you know, it's a different story. So, you know, I think I'm done. Right, I'm out. And but you know, this was a good one to sort of go out with for this year, anyway. You know, maybe next year we'll see. Attitude. The old witch hat knobs, you know, pretty cool. So, you know, these guitars are cool. You'll see them out there. There's always somebody who's like, you know, rare vintage, you know, Ibanez guitar, $8.99, $9.99, and all this stuff. They don't sell. I never see them selling. It would have to be absolutely mint with the original case, all original, everything, and in just absolutely showroom condition to command that kind of money. But these regularly sell between $300 and $500. So close you can get to $300, the better. And I got pretty close to $300 on this one. And I like the bonus of having the Duncan Distortion pickups, which are, I think, a great sound. Probably have to intonate this. I'm hearing it's in tune until I start using open strings. And depending on the... I haven't even changed the strings on it yet, you know, and I've had it for, geez, 6 weeks or maybe longer. So anyway, that's it. And really nothing special about these guitars other than, you know, it was a guitar that I had when I was 14 until I was 24. And, you know, or 25. And, you know, it had a little bit of a nostalgia for me. So I was like, you know, I'm doing it. But this is it. This will be the last one for a little while. So... it's a light summer schedule. This summer's been actually pretty awesome compared to last summer. Last summer was really, really hot and humid, and we were on the Tropical Express for like 8 straight weeks. And this year it's like 4 or 5 days of hot and humid, and then 1 or 2 days of nice and dry, and then a couple of days of hot and humid, and then a couple of days of nice and dry and relatively cooler. And we've just had a lot of like seasonal breaks. In fact, right now it's about 52 degrees out. That's pretty cool for this time of year. Nice and dry out there too. It's pretty nice. So it's been a pretty good summer. Can't complain. Though I probably still will. All right, guys. Well, that's this guitar. Take a little closer look here. Not bad shape for a guitar that's pushing 40. And its owner is pushing 50. It happens. Next thing you know, you're half a century old. Not for a while, but I'm getting there. All right, guys. As always, rock on.